Sign up for free Stratfor Intelligence. Simply enter your email address to receive 2 free reports each week.
After a brief and bizarre TV appearance late last night, Libyan leader Muammar Gadhafi appeared again on state TV to reaffirm that he is not leaving the country and that he will die as a martyr in Libya. Gadhafi's speech doesn't really surprise us. He is, after all, a very proud leader who came to power in a military coup more than 4 decades ago as a mere junior officer in the army. His personality, his life, is enmeshed in this country. In other words, he is no Ben Ali. This is a leader that is not likely to flee. But that does not mean that Gadhafi will necessarily be able to hold on to power. Over the course of the past 2 days, 3 major red flags have been raised in Libya. The first is that the regime has lost control of the eastern part of the country, where a lot of Libya's oil wealth is located. The second is that a number of prominent tribes in Libya have reportedly turned on the regime. And the third and most critical is that the army is splintering. Without the support of the tribes, without the support of the army, and without control of the east, it's very difficult to see how Gadhafi is going to be able to project military power into the east to retake control of the country and ultimately save his regime. And looking at what lies ahead for Libya, Stratfor has been hearing about plans in the works by a group of army officers planning to oust Gadhafi, move into Tripoli, and reinvent a revolutionary command council to take authority over the country. Now, the names that are being thrown around to lead this revolutionary command council include many of the original free officers that helped bring Gadhafi to power in the 1969 military coup. This group is currently lobbying for the UN Security Council, which is currently in session, to approve a no-fly zone that can be enforced by the United States. The army officers trying to lead this coup want to ensure that Gadhafi can't rely on remaining loyal Air Force units to bombard them as they make their way into Tripoli. Now, Gadhafi is likely betting that global concerns over energy cutoffs from Libya and fears over regime collapse in Libya leading to civil war will likely deter any such plans for a no-fly zone to be enforced by the United States. Still, the opposition, including many of these army officers, appear willing to call that bluff. One thing to remember is that the Libya situation is very different from the military-managed succession that we saw play out in Egypt. For one thing, the military in Egypt was actually welcomed by the populace, and the opposition demonstrations were used by the Egyptian military to ease Mubarak out. In Libya, by contrast, the military is strongly disliked by the populace and would not have that kind of support. Now, the situation is still very opaque, but we are seeing some very serious signs of the army splintering. Without a strong regime at the helm to hold the army together, the loyalties of many army officers will fall to their respective tribes, and at that point, the threat of civil war in Libya considerably increases.